Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 38. Even though I always say that this is for the old crowd, young crowd can learn from me too, okay? In this video, I'll show you how to upload a file to your server. I know we have done this already, but I'm adding more in this particular video because the next video is going to be a little bit of more, and then the main video after that will be the actual crew video that has everything with the. You'll see what I mean as we go along. Now, in this one, of course, I'm going to show you how you upload, right? And then, of course, there's going to be other things too, like the sanitizing type things. You'll see. Now, right now, this is the actual file. See, this is the actual file. I know, because it was so. If I would have typed it all the way up, it would have just taken long. This video would have been a little long, and I figured I'd get it all done. That way, we'll discuss it, and then I'll show you the results. So right now, let's get to the form, and this is the actual form right here. Simple thing, you know, 1, 2, 3. This, and then you got these 3 buttons, which not going to do much. It's just going to give you a message, but you will be using this technology, this idea of doing things for that crude project that we're going to do, or CRUD, depends how you pronounce it, right? So right now I'm using that first declaration, right? This is HTML5. So this is your first line that you got to use, right? And of course I got the body. Now, you know, usually you got the head, and within the head you got titles and where you keep your libraries, your CSS, all that stuff. But we're just keeping it simple. So right now we just said that is a DOCTYPE. It's HTML, right? This is HTML5, by the way. And then we're going to just use bodies within. Then within the body we got the form. And then it's going to call back that checkup.php, which happens to be this file, which is this file. Okay, it's going to do this, going to go back with the stuff. Okay, so now in this particular case, we got the first name, which is text, right? Last name is text, email is text, and remember this one, file. For this one, that's what creates that. Then you got 4 buttons that submits. It's just different names: submit, insert, update, and delete. This is how it's done. And then once you do that, it'll go straight up to here, and then check. Now remember, this here, see how you got submit, insert, update, delete. The moment you hit these buttons, it's going to go straight back up to itself because you're calling yourself. Then you're going to check if it's set. So if you hit the submit button, it's going to say, oh, is this submitted? Is this set? And it is, because you hit that button. Or I'm going to say, is this set? When you do hit the insert, it's going to come here. And if you do the update, it will be the same way, and then the delete. For now, I'm going to hit the set for this. And what happens is, once it passes here, which is true, this will be true, then you're going to filter out the first name, last name, and the email address. That's what you're going to do. You're going to filter it out. I'm showing you 2 different ways because this right here does the same thing as this. It's the same thing, except that in this one, you're adding the filter to sanitize your string. Make sure that it's a string. Then make sure that everything here is a string. So we really don't need this. I just wanted to show you. I do 3 when it's like real, and I keep it as 2 when it's comments, because 2 is comments when you do these forward slashes. All right. So now what happens is, once it passes that and it sanitizes, see how it assigns it to these variables. Then you're going to check if those variables are empty. This is how it's done. I'm telling you right now, using this, how I'm doing is how you're going to be doing the security thing. This is going to get real complicated on the other one. And on that last one, I think would be video 38, I'm thinking, you can just copy the code, because I'm going to leave it at the description, and just copy that whole thing into a file, and then practice and take one thing out and make it work. And you're going to learn a lot. But that whole thing is what you're going to really need for a lot of your projects. I'm telling you, because a lot of the projects you're going to do is reading a database, reading a form, putting that form data into somewhere, moving it up, if you want to upload a file, that kind of thing. It's all there. So if you need to do a project and it's, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, just look at that project and just go down the line and say, okay, we're going to need this, we're going to need that. And of course, you can adjust it to your new stuff, but that whole thing is there. The whole thing, I mean, really, basically, yes, you got the 1,000 built-in functions, yeah, to do a lot of different things, but the fundamental stuff is going to be right there. Because basically, what do? Form, right? You're going to do something with that data. Well, is it going to a database? Yes. Or is it going to some kind of text file? Or you're going to email some stuff. You know what I mean? So that whole thing is there. So basically, in this particular case, I put in update, insert, and delete. When you want to, it's like when you find a record site, you want to delete it. You delete it, it's going to delete it from the database. If you want to update something in a database, you use the update. And of course, if you got something new record, then you insert it, right? So for now, that's what's happening. So then what happens is it checks. So if this is going to have some stuff in it, then it checks. Then it over here says, oh, look, is it empty? No. Okay. Or is this empty? Or is this empty? Then do this. Then it goes right back. It'll go, remember the header? I showed you that, location. It'll go right back to this. It'll go right back to this. This is how it's done. This is how you branch out to a different PHP file and or within the actual file. This is how it's done. Now, since it's not going to, because we're going to put something in here, let's just put it in anyway. I'll say Jacqueline, because I was practicing. I'll say Miller, and this, how about we just say, old man PHP, like that, at gmail.com. I know I should have put a title up here to make it more like, what we could do. Listen, this is what we could do. Now that we're talking here, let's do this. Let's take this out. I don't want to put titles, okay? So we just put some kind of placeholder right in here. So we'll just say, like, let's go up here. Let's go to the form. And then here, where's the format? Right here. Let's say placeholder. And then you're going to put here first name. Like that. See? Let's copy this whole thing. Let's copy that whole thing. Stick it on this one. And stick it on this one. Okay? And this one, of course, you know what it is. Last name. And then you got your email. Like that. Let's save it, okay? So we go like this. Boom. See how it says? First name, last name. Now remember, you can hit it here and you can type it right on it. See how that works? All right. So here we're going to say Miller. Here, please don't use that email. All day, that was supposed to be me. We'll use this one. Okay, now is the email address. All right. So what happened? we went here, we check, oh no, there's something in there, because there will be some stuff in there. If it's not, then it can jump right back out, and that's it. And then you exit, right? You don't really need this because it'll do this, but this is like, guys, do this anyway. This exit, that means exit out of this script, but do it in it. See, this header will push you out back to the blank form. So in a way, you kind of left it already, because now you're like in the form part. But sometimes you get problems. You might get a glitch. Maybe you're doing this and something happened. Ooh, it bypassed your header. Now it's going to keep going. So what do? You put an exit. So try always at the header, put an exit. I'm telling you right now, there's glitches all the time. You'd be like, wait a minute. It's supposed to go to this branch, but it didn't do it. Then you look and you look, it's because you got a hit. You took a hit. Get your hit system engineer, they'll tell you, oh, you took a hit. Somehow it glitched it and went right over it. Might have run over one, might have went over several lines and probably be all messed up that you will have to restart that whole thing again. So always do this, okay? Now, you're using the same, right here, you're using the same variable that you have input. See, now this is what, see this stuff right here, first name, last name, email, comes from here, right? The name comes from the name field. First name, last name, email. These things will be just this stuff here, right? So what happens when it goes through it, this filter input is going to filter it out. It says, well, we know it's an input thing, a box, and you're using post because you're using post method right here, right? So don't know. So this, what this does is filters that out, and then it says, okay, this is the name that you're filtering out, and this is the filter sanitizer. This is like a, I call it a keyword, but this thing is like, what would be the, yeah, I'm gonna say keyword, but this thing does it. What happens is it reads your stuff and says, oh shit, it is a string, it is a string, it is a string, puts it in here, and then that's it. This one would have just did anything, doesn't matter. But this one wants strings. It's like having type hinting. That's like your first defense right here. The first defense, then will be the second defense, then this will be kind of your third defense. Now you want to trim it. Now let's say what happens if you kind of sent out like Jacqueline's name like this. Why did I pick Jacqueline for? Let's say you did this, like for instance, let's do this. Remember how we talked about this before? Remember that? See this? Oh boy. You're going nuts. Let's say Jacqueline. Sorry, man. Like this, right? So if you do this, it doesn't matter. It still gives you this. But if for some reason you had this, or you had this, or somehow you ended up with this, then this will trim it down to this. Because you don't want, remember, this is considered also characters, the length. So when you put it inside the thing, it's going to say, oh, okay, let's trim it out. You're going to say, well, I'm going to be sure to put it in the right way. Yeah. What happens, some people don't. Maybe by mistake you hit a couple of spaces, then you say Jacqueline, but you don't notice, or in the back. Then this will help you take care of that. Now comes the replacing part. See, this replaces the script of styles with spaces. See this right here? This replace, remember we talked about how we could do like the match. Remember the preg match, underscore match, and it gives you the patterns that you want. You want lowercase letters, you want uppercase letters, you want numbers. Remember that? And then you also kind of gave it a restriction. You say the string should only be like we're going to say 3, right? 3 letters all the way to, let's say, 30 letters. Remember that one? Well, this is another one. This is a, I think I might have shown this before, way several videos, that replaces this stuff that you got here with this stuff. See, what happens is in here, people can put in stuff like this. Believe it or not, there's some crazy people that will do this and say, I'm not going to say the delete command thing because like delete, this is just sudo, okay? Delete all records, let's say, like this. And then you close it up. Well, what happens is if you put that and you save it, it'll go through this process and then it'll go, okay, it does this, and then it says, oh, we see something there that says script, or you see something there that says styles, like for styles, like to change this, your styles, or some kind of craziness like asterisk with this, with these characters, right? And what happens is if you do this, you're gonna get these crazy characters in there. What do? So when the moment it hits this, it's gonna say, oh, I see something here. Oh, I see that somebody put an @ sign in something else. It could be a bad command. So what do? You say, I want to replace, which happens to be this guy, in case if it's in here, right? I want to replace all this crap with blank, nothing. Same thing here. I want to replace all this with nothing. This is another security. You don't want injection. You don't want SQL injection. That's what they call it. SQL injection, which they try to put in. You're going to see later not this particular directory, but that main one, the big one that I'm talking about. You're going to see that we're going to have well, it's going to be going to, the stuff's going to go into the database and all that, and we're going to have the patterns and all that, and we're going to have protection for this type of thing. Also, you'll see. But right now, if you see some kind of these kind of things, I want you to put space in here. Just bear with me, sirs and girls, young and old. Okay, now let's say you did this. Let's say you said, ooh, there was something there, I cleaned it out. Now you put it right back in. See, look, you put it right back in. Now you keep going, right? Now you say, ooh, let's strip the tags. You know how you could have tags too. You know, stuff like bold and H2, those kind of things. See, even though it takes out some of the things here, look, this, it takes it out. But this is also another defense part. But what's that, like I said, something happened, you didn't get to this part. Maybe there was a glitch. I know I keep saying that because I know I lived it. I've been at this IT stuff for 30 years. Using different languages, there was always some kind of weirdness. Because when you write program, it doesn't go without a hitch, man. It just doesn't like, oh, look, it worked the first time. No, there's always going to be something. Even when you fix it, that's why you do these things. There will be a glitch, but because you did these things, it caught it. So if for some reason this went wrong, then this will catch it. Takes all the tags from you. Takes it all out. Now it puts it back in, puts it back in, and puts it back in. Now we're going to the entities. You know how you got the stuff that we were talking about, these quotes, remember that? These quotes, remember I showed you different ways? Well, what this does is it's going to see it and say, oh, if I see something like this, let's say, you know, like this, that's what is that? That's a less than, greater than it would. Please put this. What is it? Put this like this. Put this instead. Just do that instead. So that way you have it. So when you print it out, then you see, I'm going to show you anyway, but let's say for some reason all this failed and you got to this part, then make it into a string, something that's just not going to hurt the system. That's what that is. Remember the part I was talking about, the part that cycles through? Look, the part that gets rid of all SQL injection. Well, this too does it. This too replaces all this crap with this, so you don't have to worry about the injections, which happens to be this. Now in this particular case, I kind of did this and put this so you can see. I kind of, did I did it up here? Okay, maybe not. We'll put it here so you can see kind of like at different levels. Then, right, now this part's for the injection, so this match bar, remember with the deletion, remember I was telling you about? So what happens is, for some reason they do it, I'm gonna put it over here. Let's say they say, oh, delete asterisk, like that, from, I'm gonna show you how it's done until you go through the whole thing, like from and whatever table it is, and it depends on what you want, or insert, or this will take care of it, right here. Should have took that space out of there. What up? All right. Let's put that back. You want your code to be kind of, you want the code, you got clean, and of course you want some spacing, you know what I'm saying? And if you need to put comments, you put it like this. You could use this one, and of course you can use this one, like that. Look, see, that becomes a comment too. Now, so then what happens is this is going to create a, I created, what I did was, well, what happens if this don't? So I'm going to do this too. I want to make sure, man, I want to make sure that in every step of the way that I'm protecting the database and the data, you know what I mean? So what happens is I created an array, right, for the form. So remember I said that it was first name and the last name, and these guys here are the actual variables that you apply to, like right here, that we keep adding into itself with different solutions. So what you do is you do this, right? So then I said, well, we're going to use the for each, because for each is good for arrays, especially, and then of course we're going to see key and value, because this is the key, this is the value. If it didn't have, let's say, just that, comma, last name, comma, then it would be 0 indexing. So that means like 0 would be the first one, and the second one would be number 1, and the third one would be number 2. But right now we're doing with associated array, because we have this right here, this rocket shit symbol. So the way to read it, you read that. So then I said, okay, we're going to read it. What we're going to do with this? Well, maybe we should check. So we want to match this. If we found this will be the value, which is here, right? This is the value. Right here, you're reading the key, everything. You're going to read the first one, then you're going to go, oh, here's the value. Did you find a word named delete in there? Then, or did you find the word insert there? Or did you find update? Or did you find select? This is I, remember I means that is sensitive, case sensitive. So, and that will be the value. So if it's either one or the other one, if this one had it, or if this one had it, or if this one had it, then do this. And it'll tell you, sorry, you have illegal insertion. And then it's going to go right back to this. And then, of course, remember I told you, always use the exit to get out completely, just in case. You don't want to fall through, right? You can even put messages. Remember how we did this before? And you could kind of put some kind of message saying successful or whatever. You could do that. You could do that here too. So now, let's say we say, okay, we did it. Everything's fine. So far, so good. We're going to go straight down like this. See, you're wondering, but why don't you just put an if and then an else and? No, but why not? Because if it finds it, this is going to get you out. It's going to take you there. See, this will get, when you do this, you don't have to worry about this really, because it just goes. But if for some reason something happens to this, catch it here. All right, so now we're going to add caps to the first letters to your first name and last name. So what do? You use the UC words. Remember I told you all these videos that I've been showing you, it's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, different commands. Well, now I'm showing you, first time, remember I told you how you can upload and how you do the PDO. Remember I showed you down, I think it was the last one. Then I'm showing you this because you're using the other stuff that you have learned before. So right now, look, you're using it. So now it's going to stay in your brain even longer. Right? You can even print this out and just look at it every day, like how you would try to memorize some book or something. You know what I mean? It's not huge or anything. The other one will be like several pages, but still you could do it. You could just look at it and learn from it. Make your own little notes, right? So do you see world? It's going to say like, okay, I want Jacqueline, because if you put, I got caps here, but if I put a small cap, small letters and the M small, this will fix it up for me. This is just in case, because we want uniform, right? You want to have everything in uniform. So you do this. Why is there a lot of space there? Let's move that up a little bit. Then what happens is the validation check for the page. Remember the preg match? After you have done all of this stuff, now you want to check these guys. You want to make sure now. And what happens? You want to make sure that, like before, that you want, in other words, that the form can accept A through Z in small caps, A through Z in caps, big caps. And if this means just everything, and that's the end. See, this is the beginning, the caret, this is the end, and the slash, which is the front and the, which is the actual pattern. That's what that slash is. This means the end of this pattern. This is the beginning of this pattern. And for this part, your first name is just name. You don't want to, I mean, nobody, who the hell has, who knows, maybe with the craziness that we see now, somebody goes, so I'm going to name my kid 3. I mean, the number 3. It's how crazy it is out there. Actually, I was gonna change my name, or at least put a middle name of the number 3. 3 for Dale Earnhardt, which was my favorite NASCAR driver, who died in 2001. Anyway, greatest ever. So what happens is 7 times championship. Daytona too. All right. So then you're gonna do the same thing for the last name, and that's it, because you're basically checking just those 2 guys. You say, well, how about the email? The email's gonna come in a little bit. So what happens is you're going to say, okay, let's say there is. See what it says here? Not. That is the symbol for not. The symbol for something positive or true, leave it alone. So you're going to say not. If it's not this, meaning that you have something other than this, then send out a message saying there's a problem with the form data format. And of course, again, you're going to do the header to go right back out. And of course, to catch it, just in case, exit. Now we're going to start the upload section, right? So this is, remember I told you the $_files is the super global. Look, here we go. So I wrote it down. Super global variables, and it is often used when uploading files. So that contains some information on the uploaded file, such as the file name, the size. I already showed you that, and what you call it, file type. Then we can use these information to save to the file. So remember, you already hit this. What was it? This, which would be, let's go down, submit right here. So what happens? You go all the way up. Well, let me save this just in case. So what happens is goes and goes, looks. Oh my God, look. Is there set? Even though you put this up here, I still put it up down there. I still did it. I added it anyway because I'm doing that little piece. That little piece. It might be overkill. I don't know. I mean, But for some reason something happens, but I still want to catch it. I still want to say, hey, it's this, and it is, right? So now you say this is the file name. You're gonna put it in here, right? And then that's just a name you give it, but this is the main thing. So then this file name is right here, file name. See? So let's go back up there. Okay. Now you're gonna need a name. Remember we did that on the last one or the last two? We did the name, remember the temporary name for that file, which is then the error, and then the size, remember that, and then the type. And then this one, put this here if you want to look at it, but I just commented it out. Remember the explode, which explodes from the file name. So if you have this, it explodes it right here at the dot. Then over here, it's going to take the end, because remember when you explode, it creates a variable. Remember I showed you that, and this will give you the end, the last one, which would be, because that's the end of the array. And it's only two, right? The file name only has two entry in an array. It has the first name, the base name, then you have your extension. So that's how that happens. So then over here I decide, well, okay, I'll put some of this print R so you can see it. We've seen this before, right? And then at the same time, I'm going to check. I don't want to just send anything up there. Sometimes if I don't even want to send PDF, I take this right off. If I don't want to send PHP stuff, I'll take that off. You know what I mean? But right now I'm allowing these guys, these extension from a file. So what happens is you print out the R again in case you want to see it. You don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyway so you can see it. And then now it's going to say, hey, is this set? See, this stuff is going to be checked later when you do this. You're going to say, hey, is this file name set? So if you go down here, where are we? File name is set, right? Remember, it's just another way. Now, where are we? Is it file name like that, like in big letters? Yes, it is. So now, sorry. So now you're checking. Oh yeah, it is set. It is set. So what happens is you go, if you went up here, it's only going to show you the ones with these buttons in the submit button. But you down here, because you did all this, you want to check if this file name is set. And if it is, then you say, okay, for some reason, would it be is it going to be blank? This will be this right here. If it's going to be blank, well, I want to do something with it, but we don't care because right now we're doing a test. On the other one, we're going to put some else in there. So right now we say, oh, is it blank? If it's not blank, and it won't be, it's not going to be empty. It won't. Let's bring this up a bit. It's not going to be empty. Now, because you created this, and you created, where is it? Well, that'll be okay. Where is it? Oh, and this one too, because you created these two. Then now you're going to say, hey, in array, is this extension, the one you picked, PNG or whatever, is it inside this here? And if it is, that means it's allowed. It's okay. That means that's true. It's going to go here. Now, remember, because you have read it, this guy right here, we're going to do a condition statement. We want to branch, right? If something didn't work out, get the hell out. Something worked out, then okay, let's go in here. It's true because there's no errors. In this particular case, the file size is smaller than the 100 million. You're going to say, yes, it is. It's true. And if it isn't, then you get the hell out, right? So then you go and then say, okay, this is my uploads. Where are we? That's a directory, by the way, when it's written like this. Here it goes, right here, my uploads. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You know something? Let me kill this. This will be here. Remember, this is the actual server. See, I'm going to show you that in a second towards the end, okay? Let me see. Let's go to my loads right here. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So let's do this. All right. So I don't want to see it. That's why. Because I'm going to call it back. All right. So let's do a little space here. Take rid of that space. So then what happens is it says, yes, it's good. Then you assign this. You can call it whatever you want, location, whatever. I just liked it like this, $lock. And that will be the name of this directory. Then you're going to create the name. Now remember, this locked is this directory, and this is the file name. Remember the file name, which happens to be here, the file name. So it will be like, it's going to be written like, kind of like this. It's going to be my uploads, and what's the name of this? Whatever file is, file.png or something like that. It'll be like that. It's going to be like this. Okay, that will be your destination. This is your destination. You could have put it in another verb, like we did it before, but this is just showing you that you can also do it like this. Just don't forget to put the dot. That means you put it together. Right now, remember this, move uploaded file, because after you have uploaded it, then you're going to move it, and it's going to go to a temporary directory, which for some reason, if I went here, well, it's not here. You would think it's here. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. This one came in late. Whoa, it's impossible. Huh. That's really, huh. Whoa. The slowness of my, see, the thing is, when I kind of did this and I didn't see it, I'm like, where is it? And it goes fast, but if for some reason it gives you, I don't know, it's just so strange. Anyway, it moves it from this temp with status of a sure thing. You can look it up, right? It moves it from the temp directory into this directory because I told it to, right? And then it goes down the line says else you have a problem with your file extension. We already did that, just to give you an idea. You could have done it on all of them, basically, on most of them. Now, as we keep going, that's because this, let me see. This was the long one, that's what happened. Where are we? Did I pass this too fast? Oh man, where are we? Let's do this one. Is there it goes, right here. This one. See, this is a way of finding things. It's little tricks, you know, because it gives it to you. That's what they do. You just have to know that. So yeah, look, here it goes right here. Very good. Remember we did the submit button, which is happens to be this guy right here. Do all this. That's what that is, right? And then what do you say to yourself? You say, well, then I could have put these other stuff, all these. Well, why not? Just keep them separate too. It'll read the file because you already sucked this right in when you were like right here. You know what I mean? So this is a good way of doing it. So then what happens is now, let's say, it's just going to give you a message, but let's see. All right, maybe we should just do the file upload. How about that? Then we'll come back to the. So let's go to the file. Remember this right here? Oops, right here. So I'm going to copy, and you're going to see this bounce up. You're going to see another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to see another 5. So let's do it. So let's say choose. See, people look at it like, hold on, let me say, well, you know, you got this is one file. Yeah, but even though this is one form, it has to be, okay? You can make this form as several pages long. But these buttons, they could be separate of different things and still added to part of the form. See the form? It's all part of the form. But because you're inserting, see this? Different types, it'll do different things. Because in the beginning, when you knew, you're going to be like, well, how you do this? How's it, doing this? How's it able to, well, that's why. This is how it's done. All right, so let's choose a file. A name that I know. This one. Remember the one I broke? It's PNG. Remember how it accepts PNG from the allow array? So let's say open it up, you hit it, and then look, you got your list right there. See? So then what happens is, let's go here. Where is it? See, it tells you, oh yeah, look, it's here, it's okay, it's allowed. And it goes like this, it checks, and then it does this. So if we go to do it, boom, there it goes, see? Get out. See, oh, here we go, see? Bar, letter, 5. See how we got that in there? Where is it? Where did we go? Here it goes, bar, letter, 5. Remember that array? This is the other array that says, oh, remember we wanted the extension? There it goes. This is the other array. And they say oh yeah. I misspelled this, but it would say your file has updated successfully. And this is your temporary file. It comes out like crazy like this, but it happens fast. It happens fast. Because here it goes, right here. Because the move thing, ooh, let's not go there. Because the move thing is it's moving from one place to another. You're taking it out from another place. But for some reason, if I went down here to the temp, see, it still shows the 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. Was there 4 or 5 there before? Well, anyway, it goes here, and then later on you see something else. It's just so weird. I don't know if it's just part of what I'm doing or it's just strange. But anyway, look, you can see it. It happened. It copied it over. I mean, you can go like this. Oops. You can see it. Discussion, extra wrapping, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing, right? So now we finished the submit. But what happens if I just want to, insert? So let's say, let's start this all over. Let's do Jacqueline Miller, old man, PHP, act. Bear with me, dudes. Oh, here it goes. See? So now we have this, and now I want to insert, right? So it's going to be here. It's going to say, oh, look, insert. It's going to find it right here. Insert. So now it's going to look for it. But it's not going to do nothing really because I'm not inserting. Just wanted to show you, where are we? Where the hell are you? There we go, insert. And it's only going to echo. So you say insert. Boom, it just echoed it up. Let's say if you wanted to put this, but then add like 1, 2, 3, some crap like that. Let's say river. Older man, I don't know, some dumb thing like that. Let's say you wanted to update like that. I'm going to update the person's, and all we're doing is this. It's just showing you. That's all it is. It's not doing anything. And it's the same thing with the delete. You can just say delete. Oops. See, because it found nothing. See, that was a perfect opportunity right there. See, if I went like this, let's get that. See, there's nothing in here. There's no file. And you went to delete. And nobody looked at it, went back to the form. It went like this. It says, well, it was set. When it came here, see, this, nothing would happen. If somehow it says, oh yeah, this was set, I see it, then it goes, oh, okay, there's really nothing. I can't do anything with it. It's just blank. Then when it comes here and it checks, it says, oh, look, it's blank. Then it gets you out. See? That was just a perfect test right there. Let's say you wanted to, I don't know, this and Miller and whatever. You know, delete, and it does blah, blah, blah. Okay? That's how this works. It's fantastic. You've learned a lot. You can do a lot of things with this. And on the next one, it's going to be huge. We're going to be able to do a lot of things. We might have to do this, what I just did. Just show you the page and just get down the line. And then we'll do the tests, okay? Because typing this is forever. It takes a while, and the videos will, they say YouTube don't want videos longer than 15 minutes, man. So that makes it kind of hard. Unless I've forgotten permission, maybe. I don't know. Like, I've seen people with big, I don't know how they do it, but I will find out. Remember, I'm new to this. But the rules were right now, they told me it got to be 15 minutes. So, right, it's going to be some really good stuff there. Really good stuff. Well, sirs, we reached the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy our discussion. And please hit the like button and the subscribe to my channel. This will help grow my channel. And on the next video, we'll do PDO one more time, but we're a little different, right? So until next time, a good night.